Hi, welcome to Legal Awareness Web. Today, we're going to talk about cryptocurrencies. Everything about technology and money that makes us question our very existence. Now, earlier in the day, the Supreme Court of India has quashed the RBI circular passed in April 2018 on the basis that it is arbitrary, it was unfair, and unconstitutional. Now, somehow the circular, if I have to take you back to 2018, talked about how banks and financial institutions were barred from facilitating transactions involving cryptocurrencies. Now, this decision today by the Supreme Court has a lot to offer, but it is first important to understand what exactly we are talking about. For example, what exactly is cryptocurrency? Because cryptocurrency was the first well-known use of cryptocurrency came out in 2009 when some person, or let's say a group of persons, a pseudonym known as Satoshi Nakamoto, came up with a paper, a 9-page paper known as a peer-to-peer electronic cash system that somehow revolutionized the way in which people could actually transfer money. Now, generally, when we think about transferring money, we often think about going down to a bank. Let's say, if you're not a very person who's likely to use a phone, even if you can use a phone, you're still relying upon a third party. You're trying to trust a particular bank. You're trying to trust its server in terms of sending money to someone. So somehow, when we think about cryptocurrencies, we are talking about decentralization. We are talking about a peer-to-peer system of transferring money to people involved in a network using cryptographic protocols. Somehow we rely upon math and we do away with the existing trust architectures. Now, if we really want to appreciate as to what cryptocurrencies has to offer, it's important to understand and appreciate the architecture upon which it is built. Somehow we know and understand the hub and spoke model of architecture, where, let's say, in a hub and spoke model, let's say there is a bank, the bank provides you with your statement. If you have to send money, you go down to the bank and the money is transferred. Right? On the other hand side, a different architecture, somewhat closely related to what we are talking about, is also known as the peer-to-peer theory architecture, wherein participants in an enclosed system can avoid, let's say, a tragedy of commons without the requirement of a top-down legislation. It was actually provided by a very famous economist known as Elinor Ostrom. Similarly, this existing architecture of Bitcoin, the broader architecture upon which Bitcoin is built, is blockchain. Now, blockchain is a subset of a distributed ledger technology. It offers a decentralized and a transparent way of recording data, though that data is completely secure because it uses cryptographic protocols, a very special algorithm known as SHA-256, which till the time, let's say, quantum computing is developed, is really secure at this point of time. So somehow, cryptocurrencies help us in terms of sending money. It is not a money that exists in a physical form, but somehow it is an online version of cash, as it removes the need or removes the dependence upon a central authority. Somewhere the Reserve Bank of India became a little iffy. I'm not completely saying that cryptocurrencies or do not have any negative effects. I mean, there have been cases wherein cryptocurrencies have been used for tax evasion, they have been allegedly used for terrorist financing, and other illegal activities as well, let's say buying contraband on dark web. But simply or blatantly banning it on the face of it is not the very solution. Regulation, not prohibition, is the right way of going forward with it. And let's say another major reason why the Reserve Bank of India went for a complete ban of dealing in cryptocurrencies was majorly because somewhat the idea of cryptocurrencies takes away the element of power which the Reserve Bank of India presently has. For example, if we talk about Section 22 of the Reserve Bank of India 1935, it talks about that the Reserve Bank of India has the sole power to come forward with banknotes. So somehow, if we talk about a system that has the ability to generate money on its own, we are somehow limiting or reducing the capacity of the Reserve Bank of India. Now, that is what cryptocurrency is, an online version of cash which does not require a centralized institution. It is built upon a larger technology, and interestingly, the use case came first before the technology actually came. The use case was Bitcoin, and the larger technology that we're talking about is blockchain. Now, blockchain can have many uses. Why? Because it is a transparent and a decentralized way of recording data. And somehow it offers a unique solution to the age-old problem of trust. Now, this particular quashing of the RBI circular has got good news. I mean, it's really interesting. Why? Because somehow we can see a number of exchanges coming up, smart contracts applications working very well. The market is responding fairly okay. But the larger question which we really need to address is that how reliable it actually is as a currency. Or can actually be it really? I mean, can it really be called as a currency in the very first place? Because in order to be money, it has to satisfy certain points. For example, if we speak of money, if we purely talk about cash, and as we moved from the barter system, because there was an issue about how two people can actually cooperate at that very point of time, exchange goods and services that were needed by both of them, invented a cash system and a credit system. And somehow we are moving forward from the cash and the credit system to a digital-based system. Now, this digital-based system does offer us as a medium of exchange, which is another important element for it to be classified as money. And that was one of the major reasons why we had cryptocurrencies, because the idea was to do away with existing institutions. But still, if we see the practical side of it, it's not very much possible, at least at this point of time, to, let's say, go down to a movie theater, or let's say go down to a website and buy a ticket using your existing cryptocurrency. I mean, it could be any. I mean, either it could be Ethereum or it could be Bitcoins. I mean, that dream is relatively far. The second is that it also has a store of value, and this really has important dimensions for India at this point of time, because it can be taken as an investment. I do agree that the value of Bitcoins have been fluctuating. Ups and downs are there, but again, that is the beauty of the markets there. Somewhat it is based upon principles of supply and demand, whereas the Bitcoins are also capped at 21 million. So the prices keep going up and down, also on the basis of speculation happening about that particular currency. But it can be very well used as an investment, as an asset, because it has certain values associated with it. But we can question its element of being as a store of value, also because at times the price of the asset goes up and comes down. So the nature of investment that you will actually be making could be volatile. The third most interesting point about money is that it also is like a unit of account. Right? You're able to measure the value of goods and services based upon money. So if the prices are actually fluctuating, at this point of time, Bitcoin is valued somewhere around 640,000. But it's possible that maybe due to some speculation by the government or by the market, the value, or maybe due to a hack happening in any intermediaries dealing with it, it's possible that the value of the coin is likely to go down. So that does pose a few questions. But again, as governments, and especially in India, and the government has really been responding well to this idea of blockchain. So for blockchain to work really well, and for there to be an incentive for parties to actually use blockchain, cryptocurrencies can actually be that real incentive that parties are looking forward for. So fingers crossed. Let's wait and see how does it roll by. See you soon.